Are you thinking what I'm thinking?
What's up guys, Dota Academy here, and today we're going to be going through the hero changes from Dota's patch 7.06. Now there are loads and loads of hero changes and a lot of them are about the reworked talent trees, but let's just go through the list and see what the big changes are. So first of all we have Alchemist. Unstable concoction cooldown has now increased, or well, they've reworked it, so it starts off at 22 now and it goes down at level 4 to 16. The AoE has been increased to 200 now for the stun AoE, so that's a nice buff for Alchemist. Now the bonus gold you get from Grievel's Greed has been reduced, but the bonus per stack actually increases to 4 from 3. And another bonus cap, obviously the rescale that you can see over here. Ancient Apparition attack range increased by 75, so a nice buff for him. Ice Vortex movement modifier has a positive effect on AA now. And also he's got the replace talent, which there's going to be another video that Hexel's going to put out, you can see that. There's also now on Axe a reworked Scepter, so it causes Battle Hunger to reduce enemy total damage output by 30%. So this applies on heroes with Battle Hunger within a 700 AoE after a successful Calling Blade. Bane has a reworked Scepter now, causes Brain Sap to have a 1.5 second cooldown, and it pierces spell immunity, so the Bane Scepter now is actually really nice. He's also got some agility and intelligence growth, and Fiend's Grip deals damage every 0.5 seconds instead of every second. Beastmaster Wild Axe cast range increased. His mana cost has been rescaled for the Wild Axes to starting off lower and ending up at 120. And also his replace respawn talent. Bloodseeker changes, Bloodright cooldown has now decreased and the cast point has been reduced, so nice little buff for Bloodseeker here. Now they've fixed a Bounty Hunter kind of interrupting the chain if the target's spell immune, so they fixed that for the Shuriken Toss with the Scepter. Beastmaster now, Drunken Haze cast point reduced, but the duration is increased. Hellbolter cast point is reduced, and Drunken Brawler crit is increased by 30%, so that's cool. The Chaos Knight now has Reality Rift cast point reduced, and the cooldown kind of reduced as well, so that's interesting for Chaos Knight. The Chaos Strike lifesteal has increased by 10%, and the illusion damage taken has increased a lot, so it's easier to kill the Chaos Knight illusions from his ult. With Chen, Holy Persuasion cooldown reduced to 10 seconds, so that's really nice for Chen, and replaced talent. Klink's Death Pact cooldown increased to 85 seconds, which is actually a lot, but the duration is increased to 65 seconds. So it's 20 seconds that you have without it that you can go get a new one. Crystal Maiden Freezing Field cooldown has now been rescaled, so it's not 90 anymore off the bat, it's 110 to 100 to 90. And they've also fixed the Scepter Freezing Field not interrupting targets. Dox's Wall of Replica slow has been rescaled now to a smaller slow, but eventually at 1 where it was before. The Dazzle has a reworked Scepter, causing Shallow Grave to be a 450 AoE spell. Now that's going to be insane. For example, if your team gets Black Hole or something, you get Dazzle to use the Shallow Grave or Scepter, and all of them, they won't be able to die, which is crazy. Now for Doom, Scorched Earth healing and damage has been rescaled. Devour mana cost has also been rescaled, and it removes the critical strike from the small wolves in the jungle, and the attack damage is going to be increased by the same amount. Dragonite Elder Dragon Form Frost attack slow has been increased to -30%. With Drow Ranger, quite a nice update this for Drow. Frost arrows are no longer a unique attack modifier, so that's going to be really nice for Drow now, being able to get items that are unique attack modifiers. So it'll be interesting to see now the builds on Drow Ranger. Now we have Earthshaker with Enchant Totem, it has True Strike. So that's a massive buff to Earthshaker, giving him True Strike on the Enchant Totem. That's going to be huge. Elder Titan now. Astral Spirit Hero bonus damage has increased. Earth Splitter radius increased. And he's got changed respawn talent. With Enchantress, base intelligence increased by 2. The enchant slow duration has now changed from 5.5 seconds from to level 1 at 2.25 to all the way to 6 at level 4. So they've changed that up a bit. The enchant slow has also gone up to 55%. Faceless Void's time dilation slow per affected cooldown has increased by 4% to 14 and 10. And Gyrocopter's movement speed has increased now to 320 move speed. Also, homing missile initially delay, or the initial delay is reduced to 2.5 seconds, so the homing missile will be up in the air much faster. Hosker now, life rig leap speed increased much faster when he uses his ult, and the damage dealt and taken, it goes from 35%, and they've rescaled it from 34 to 38 to 42%. Jakiro's dual breath start radius increased, and also the end radius is increased as well for Jakiro. Now with Kunkka, the ghost ship always crashes where Kunkka targets it, so spawns the appropriate distance behind him to travel the full 2,000 units. Okay, so now ghost ship, if you cast it somewhere, it will land there. So it will start, if you cast it right next to you, it will start from way before you until it reaches next to you. So nice little buff for Kunkka there, makes it easier to land his ultimate. Legion Commander changes, overwhelming odds mana cost has now been increased. Dual Scepter now additionally grants spell immunity to your hero during duel, so that's like a BKB while you're duel. That's crazy with the Scepter for Legion, because not many people actually get Scepter on Legion nowadays. Moving on with Leshrac, he's got a reworked Aghanim Scepter, so while Pulse Nova is active, every 1.5 seconds Lightning Storm will hit one random unit within a 750 AoE, and it prioritizes heroes, so this is quite nice for a Leshrac Scepter. Only when you have Pulse Nova active though. Moving on, Lich's Chain Frost slow is increased to 65%. Lone Druid's rapid attack speed has increased and the duration has been rescaled to 25. The cooldown has also been reduced by 10 to 35. Luna's Lucent Beam cast animation is reduced to 0.5 seconds, so she'll be able to get that off much quicker now. And Magnus here, his movement speed was reduced to 310, and they've reworked his Scepter, so the shockwave comes back, hitting units a second time and applying a 60% slow for 2 seconds. Distance and travel speed are increased by 50%, return wave deals half damage to creeps. So that's actually quite big for a Scepter now. The RP no longer lasts an extra seconds on creeps, so it's the same time for creeps and heroes. And they've obviously changed his talents. Medusa now has an Aghanim Scepter, causes Mystic Snake to turn enemies into stone for 1 second, and increases by 0.2 seconds per bounce. That's going to be interesting with the Medusa Ags now. Mirana's base damage increased by 3, and Starstorm's second impact delayed reduced. So nice buffs for Mirana. Leap speed bonus though is reduced to 5 seconds. And the leap attack speed bonus is increased. Monkey King's Wukong Command no longer provides bonus damage, but it does provide you now with bonus armor, and it no longer copies Basher and Abyssal, so massive nerf actually that for the Monkey King. The attack rate has been improved though to 1.7, and it fixed a bunch of fixes with Urn wasting charges sometimes and Tree Jump causing him to have bigger vision. So they fixed that. Morphling Adaptive Strike mana cost rescaled. Naga Song of the Siren cast time increased, cooldown rescaled, and the range rescaled as well. Mirror Image Illusion's damage rescaled, and Riptide damage has been increased. Ensnare cast point reduced, and mana cost for Ensnare has been rescaled. Nature's Prophet, massive 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 update for his talents, which you'll see as well. You can see it here, but also Axel's going to put a video up on that. Necroforce Ghost Shrewd Heal Amp increased to 75%. Night Stalker's Hunter in the Night can be activated during night to give him flying movement for 2 seconds, so that's quite cool. Oracle's Fortune's End is now a root rather than a slow, so it gives the target 0 move speed. Fortune's End projectile speed has been reduced to 1000, and Purifying Flames cast range has increased to 850. Reworked OD Scepter now grants 2 charges to Ahlström Imprisonment and increases cast range by 300. The damage area stacks, so the replenish time is 12 seconds for that. People were complaining that OD Zags was really bad, so this kind of helps it, I guess. Phantom Lancer fixed doppelganger illusions lasting 1 second less than intended. And the Phantom Rush agility bonus is now granted for the first hit lands rather than after. Juxtapose max illusions has increased now, so you'll have more maximum PL illusions. Phoenix Fire Spirit's duration increased, and Pugna here, Life Drain now grants true sight vision over the target, so you cast it like on a Ricky, you'll be able to see him until it finishes the channel, so that's interesting. And it's got also cast range reduced but has 100 range break buffer. Razor's Eye of the Storm prioritizes striking static linked heroes first now, and it no longer has a cast point. Ricky's base movement speed reduced by 5, little nerf. Sand King's Caustic Finale is no longer a unique attack modifier, that's quite big. Sandstorm Invisibility Linger is rescaled. The DPS also rescaled. Shadow Demon, Shadow Poison mana cost has been reduced. Soulcatcher now spreads its amplification evenly among all the enemies in the area. And Shadow Shaman base damage increased by 6, and the Serpent Ward's base attack range also increased by 50. Now the interesting Silencer Scepter upgrade rescale. Glaives now pierce spell immunity and deal 100% more damage against silence units, so that's going to be really interesting. A new carry Silencer build. A new level talents for Skyrath. Slark's intelligence gain has been reduced by a bit. Haunt Cooldown has been rescaled on Spectre. Sven's God Strength grants bonus strength when activated, but the attack bonus is reduced. Templar Assassin gained, reduced agility gain on the TA. Terrorblade Metamorphosis movement speed loss increased to 30. Tidehunter Gush mana cost rescaled. Aghanim Gush now does a small ground reveal on units that are hit. Tiny base damage up by 4. Growth increases Craggy exterior chance by 6 to 8 to 10%, which is quite big for Tiny. On Treant, Nature's Geist now applies a full disarming root rather than a bash on attack, so it roots fully. Tusk, improved consistency of ice shards when pushing units in or out of the shards on the impact. And the cast range increase and speed increase. Underlord Aura, now damage reduction is rescaled, and it lingers now through death, and now he has a scepter, so Atrophy Hero's bonus damage is now granted to nearby allied heroes for half of the bonuses, and increased bonus damage duration by 40. Ursa base damage reduced by 3. Venge Wave of Terror cooldown rescaled, and the aura is reduced from Vengeance Aura. Viper Strike now deals its first tick of damage immediately, and the cooldown has been rescaled. Visage Grave Chill duration increased. Warlock Chaotic Offering mana cost has increased now. Wind Ranger talent changes with Winter Wyvern Winter's Curse attack speed buffed to 85. Witch Doctor Scepter now additionally provides True Strike to Death Ward, so that's going to be quite big against heroes with butterflies, etc. And finally, well, that's actually the Wraith King and the Zeus both have the different talent changes. So thank you guys for watching this video. Please leave a like, rank, and subscribe to Dota Academy, and we'll see you in the next one.